wetlands so dense with trapped. Then the taiga begins, the greatest forest on Earth, a continuous belt of larch, Siberian pine, and ancient spruce so wide and so biologically active that it shifts the oxygen content of the entire northern hemisphere during the summer months. And then, in the Russian Far East, volcanic mountain ranges rise abruptly from the forest floor, ridge after ridge, dozens of active peaks guarding the eastern edge of this kingdom, like something not yet finished deciding whether to let you through. When spring arrives, this silent, icy giant experiences a violent, beautiful awakening. Temperatures spike in weeks. River ice shatters all at once, enormous white plates colliding and grinding downstream with a crack audible for kilometers. More than 300 species of migratory birds flood in simultaneously from Asia and Africa, blackening the sky above. Herbivore populations surge. The steppe turns green fast enough to watch the color change day to day. Predators pour out of the tree line, hungry and precise, capitalizing on the sudden abundance of vulnerable newborns and prey weakened by 8 months of cold. For 3 months, Siberia is the most alive place in the entire northern hemisphere. Then, the clock runs out. By the time October returns, the brief summer is completely wiped out. The 8-month winter reclaims the land with a finality nothing negotiates with. In Oymyakon, a permanently inhabited settlement in the Sakha Republic, temperatures have dropped to minus 68 degrees Celsius, the coldest recorded temperature for any human settlement on Earth. Blizzards driven by 100-kilometer-per-hour winds strip bark from the trees and completely erase the horizon. The sun barely scrapes the tree line before sinking again, abandoning Siberia to a darkness that runs for months. The rivers flatten to gray mirrors of solid ice. The steppe disappears under meters of compacted white, and every living creature in this landscape must either have a plan already built or it is already dead. The caribou built its plan in August. Long before the first hard freeze, the fat is already layering under the skin in thick, even sheets. Fuel reserves being quietly stocked against months of cold and near starvation that are still weeks away. When the summer coat sheds out, each individual guard hair of the replacement winter coat is hollow, a sealed tube of trapped air pressed by the thousands against dense, insulating underfur beneath. Mature bulls weigh between 180 and 220 kilograms and stand 1.4 meters at the shoulder. Both males and females carry antlers, which makes caribou unique among all species of deer alive. In winter, the coat transitions from summer's tawny brown toward pale cream and gray, optical camouflaged, calibrated for a world that is now entirely white. But camouflage cannot save an animal exposed in open Arctic tundra when the dark months arrive. The cold is a sentence with only one outcome. So before the freeze locks in completely, the herds move, hundreds of kilometers south, thousands of animals together into the relative shelter of the northern taiga forest, where the dense canopy catches the worst of the snowfall before it reaches the ground. By packing tightly together, the herd reduces its individual exposure to the biting wind. Deep landscape depressions and low valleys break the worst of the gales, but none of that solves the problem of food. Under 1.5 meters of Siberian winter snowpack, what actually survives? Lichens, sedge grasses, mosses, and the caribou finds them by smell. Its olfactory system can detect specific plant compounds through 50 centimeters of compacted snow with no visible surface indication of anything below. In a landscape that looks completely identical in every direction, that nose is the difference between eating and starvation. Then, the hooves go to work. Broad and concave with sharp outer rims that grip ice, they dig in a behavior biologists call cratering, straight down to exactly what the nose already confirmed is there. It needs 5 kilograms of plant matter every single day just to hold its body weight through winter. That same nose is also its early warning system. Wolves and lynx are always tracking the herd, waiting for an isolated target. The moment a predator breaks from the tree line, the caribou transforms instantly from a slow excavator into a machine covering ground at 80 kilometers per hour across unstable snow. leaving most pursuers stranded in the drifts within seconds. If cornered, a mature bull does not run, it turns. A set of antlers spanning over 1.5 meters is a serious weapon, and one sudden violent sweep of the neck can shatter a wolf's ribs or drive a tine through its shoulder before it has time to adjust. But Siberia always takes its cut. The old ones, the calves born too late to build enough fat, the ones that made one wrong step into ice that did not hold, they fall regardless. Their bodies remain where they dropped, frozen solid by the cold, preserved for months. Ravens find them first, then foxes, then something with a 2-meter wingspan that made a decision most raptors do not. It stayed. When the first serious cold pushed every smaller raptor south, the golden eagle remained in the taiga. That single fact tells you more about this bird than almost anything else could. With a wingspan exceeding 2 meters and a body mass of around 4 kilograms, the golden eagle is a heavyweight predator built to endure what the Siberian winter actually delivers. Its legs are fully feathered down to the bases of its toes, biological thermal leggings against the sub-zero air. The golden eagle's retinas contain a concentration of light-detecting photoreceptor cells, so dense it can locate a moving mountain hare or small pika from up to 3 kilometers away in the flat, low light of a Siberian winter afternoon. When it marks a target, it commits. Wings fold tight. The dive begins. Over 200 kilometers per hour on the descent, the impact delivers over 400 pounds per square inch of crushing pressure through those curved talons, enough to snap a hare's spine or puncture a fox's ribcage before the animal processes what hit it. When the blizzards ground the bird for days at a stretch and live hunting becomes impossible, it adapts without sentiment. It drops into the valleys and scans for the dark shapes of wolf kills against the snow, or caribou that finally gave out after weeks in the cold. Travel 2,000 kilometers north of the forest, where the Russian winter has frozen the already cold Arctic Ocean. Here, a majestic mammal weighing more than 2 tons emerges from the depths, the Pacific walrus, while other species would flee from the semi-frozen waters that guard the north. For the walrus, these hundreds of kilometers of drifting ice are a personal paradise. A mature bull reaches 1,700 kilograms, nearly twice the weight of a standard car. The blubber beneath its skin runs up to 15 centimeters thick, and in peak winter condition, that fat accounts for roughly 1/3 of its total body mass. A built-in caloric bank it draws on when feeding is difficult and replenishes when it becomes easy again. Finding food in dark, ice-covered water at 90 meters of depth requires a completely different sensory approach. The walrus carries up to 700 highly sensitive vibrissae, stiff tactile whiskers on its snout, precise enough to detect an object the size of a coin by touch alone in total darkness. It locates dense beds of clams and marine invertebrates entirely by feel along the pitch-black seabed. Then the tusks, which can grow up to 1 meter in length, go to work like heavy crowbars, prying through sediment, unearthing buried shellfish. A specialized chamber in the walrus's mouth generates a powerful vacuum that sucks the soft, nutritious meat clean out of the shell, leaving the hard fragments behind on the ocean floor. But even this 2-ton giant has an executioner. The sound of orca moves a walrus colony off the ice and into controlled panic without debate. Killer whales hunt Pacific walruses in coordinated pods and have developed a specific technique for these animals, swimming alongside a flow in tight formation to generate a wave large enough to wash resting walruses into the water where the orcas can work. The walrus response is rational and immediate. The entire colony relocates to ice shelves thick enough that no orca can crack, flip, or move them. Multiple meters of solid pack ice between the walruses and the deep water. The orca cannot reach them, so the walrus waits, patient and enormous and entirely out of reach, until the pod gives up and moves on. And remarkably, in the middle of all of this, deep in the pack ice during the coldest months of January and February, walruses begin their mating season. dominant bulls gather in the open water around resting flows, emitting low, resonant, bell-like vocalizations that carry across the frozen surface to females resting above. After mating, the female carries the pregnancy for 16 months before delivering a single 75-kilogram calf directly onto the ice. New life beginning in one of the most inhospitable places it could begin. Move back south, away from the coast, into the dense, snow-choked forests of the Russian Taiga and the Primorsky Krai. Here, slipping silently through the shadows of the birch and cedar trees, lives the supreme king of the taiga. This is the Amur tiger, also known as the Siberian tiger. Weighing up to 200 kilograms and stretching over 2 meters long, it is living proof that in Siberia, everything is bigger and wilder. It is nothing less than the largest feline in the world. Its winter coat reaches 11 centimeters in length on the belly and neck, dense enough to allow the animal to sleep directly on the snow surface. Without losing core body heat, the coloration is noticeably paler and more golden than its southern cousins, with narrower and more widely spaced black stripes that create an optical disruption perfectly calibrated to the patterns of light and shadow moving through snow-laden taiga branches. A 200-kilogram predator that, in the right conditions, is genuinely difficult to see. A dominant male's home range can span up to 1,000 square kilometers. He marks those borders with urine, with feces, and with deep claw gouges in the bark of prominent trees encountered on his patrols. These are explicit warnings to rival males that a boundary has been set by something willing and capable of enforcing it. The tiger's primary challenge in the winter is securing enough meat to fuel its massive frame. It has an extreme daily requirement of up to 30 kilograms of fresh meat just to stay operational in the sub-zero cold. Because it sits at the absolute peak of the food chain, its menu is diverse. It actively stalks wild boars, deer, elk, and caribou through the deep drifts. It does not chase prey across open ground the way wolves do. It engineers situations where a chase becomes unnecessary. It reads the wind. It closes the gap one careful meter at a time, placing each massive padded paw to avoid any sound. Within 20 meters, calculation ends. A 5-meter explosive leap from standing, 200 kilograms landing with full force across the target's back, heavy forelimbs dragging the animal sideways off its feet, and a crushing bite to the throat or base of the skull that severs the spinal cord before the prey has fully processed what hit it. No other carnivore in the taiga is safe from it. The Amur tiger actively hunts Eurasian lynx. It isolates individual wolves from their packs. It has been documented tracking and killing mature Ussuri brown bears emerging from hibernation. The tiger is the undisputed monarch of this wilderness. But after months of incessant snowfalls, frozen rivers, and a desolate forest, spring peaks over the horizon. River ice shatters. Enormous white plates grind and collide downstream. The snow pulls back from the dark earth. The air fills with rushing water and the simultaneous return of every migratory species that left months ago. 3 months of extraordinary abundance after 8 months of white. And everything that survived tears into it with an energy that looks almost exactly like relief. Among the smaller birds that endured the entire winter deep inside the thickest pine stands, surviving on nothing but bitter conifer needles, sleeping in hollows dug directly into the snowpack to escape the wind, is the black grouse. Measuring about 60 centimeters in length and weighing around 2 kilograms, this bird survived the winter sleeping inside deep snow burrows to escape the wind. During the day, the black grouse spends long hours rooting through the vegetation, ingesting all kinds of delicacies left behind by the snow. As night falls over the steppe, it flies to nearby trees to take shelter from possible predators. That is the great advantage of living right on the border between the dense boreal forests and the now prolific steppe. Predators like the golden eagle, the fox, or the wild boar are always delighted to add a 2-kilogram black grouse to their menu. When a threat dangerously approaches, The black grouse flaps its wings and flies a short distance at low altitude to escape danger. Spring also triggers one of the most spectacular mating displays in the avian world. It all begins at dawn when the males arrive at communal display grounds called leks. In these places, up to 200 individuals can gather to compete for females willing to mate. The males display their vitality by spreading their lyre-shaped tails, flashing their brilliant red eye crests, and singing melodious songs in the form of prolonged coos and murmurs. The females watch from the edges to choose. Center of lek males fought their way there and held it against competition. They came through a Siberian winter and still have enough left to perform. Once mating is complete, the female flies away from the mating area to seek a safe place to lay her eggs. The nest is a hollow dug in a place with tall vegetation or at the foot of a tree. Since the male has already left, disclaiming fatherhood, the single mother must build the nest alone, equipping it with branches, grass, and leaves before laying 6 to 11 eggs. For about 25 days, she incubates the eggs and protects them from raptors. At 14 days old, the chicks can already take short flights and accompany the female on her walks, learning to fully enjoy spring before Siberia turns cold again. Deeper in the forest, the changing season brings a shift in the dynamics of the region's most organized predators. A low and sustained howl, answered by 2 more from the east, then 1 more from the far north. The wolf pack is moving. A Siberian wolf pack is a tightly governed social unit of up to 15 highly disciplined individuals. Through the hard months of winter, they relied heavily on winter kill, the frozen carcasses of elk and wild boar that died from the cold and were preserved by the sub-zero temperatures like meat in a natural deep freeze, sometimes for months. With the arrival of spring, the hardships of winter become a distant memory, and the pack shifts back into active hunting mode. An adult wolf requires about 4 kilograms of meat every day, and the pack concentrates its coordinated efforts on bringing down large ungulates like elk, boars, and musk oxen. To find prey across the immensity of the Siberian forests, they rely on a sophisticated sense of smell that can pick up a scent trail from miles away, combined with extraordinary night vision for nocturnal hunts. Wolves are master tacticians, using coordinated pack hunting strategies that vary depending on the terrain. When the vegetation allows it, the pack employs a multi-front ambush tactic, surrounding the prey from multiple sides and launching a simultaneous attack. Another of their preferred strategies is the long-distance exhaustion pursuit. They are built for endurance, capable of maintaining a steady pace for kilometers, tracking the target across rugged terrain until the victim collapses from pure physical exhaustion. The pack then moves in together, delivering targeted bites to bring the animal down safely without risking a fatal kick from a heavy hoof. The success of these hunts depends entirely on the pack's strict social order, governed by physical dominance or lineage inheritance. The alpha male and female hold absolute authority, controlling when the pack moves, where they den, and who eats first at a kill. After the alpha male is the beta male, who will succeed him when he retires or passes away. Finally, there are the low and middle-ranking individuals, commonly young adult wolves recently added into the pack. Since the alpha position occupies a place of power with interesting privileges, it is often coveted by other males. Dominance is demonstrated through body posture, growls, and physical confrontations. Some young males inherit the leadership position from their father, but it comes with the massive responsibility of ensuring the welfare of the pack. For now, the pack lives in a golden summer illusion with an abundant prey supply, but the true challenge to the leader's continuity will come when the Siberian winter once again knocks on the door. Now, go up, leave the forest behind, leave the steppe, leave the lowlands entirely and climb. Past the tree line, past the last scrub juniper, up into the world of bare rock and thin air and wind that has nowhere to be stopped. and in a rocky notch above a scree slope where a small group of Siberian ibex is feeding, something that looks precisely like the surrounding stone is watching, the snow leopard. Weighing up to 55 kilograms and measuring nearly 1.5 meters in length, this predator is perfectly adapted to the absolute extremes of high-altitude life. Its pale, smoky gray coat is thick and patterned with dark rosettes, providing near-perfect camouflage against the gray granite and white snowfields of the Siberian peaks. Unlike the felines of the lowlands, the snow leopard possesses highly specialized anatomical traits for its mountain home. Its nasal cavities are exceptionally large, allowing it to warm the freezing alpine air before it reaches its lungs, and its chest is deep to maximize oxygen intake in the thin atmosphere. Its long, thick tail acts as a critical counterweight when navigating treacherous ridges and doubles as a warm muzzle scarf when the animal curls up to sleep in a rocky cave. The snow leopard operates across massive, isolated territories that can span up to 1,000 square kilometers. Food is scarce at these altitudes. The leopard targets high-altitude herbivores like the Siberian ibex, Argali wild sheep, and mountain goats. Because its vocal cords are short, the snow leopard is physically incapable of roaring. Instead, it communicates across the vast canyons using low chuffs, piercing cries, and distinct scent markings on overhanging rocks. It stalks its prey from above, moving with absolute silence across the loose rock. When it is within range, it launches into a spectacular pursuit, executing 15-meter leaps down vertical cliff faces, using its massive paws to grip the rock and running at speeds of up to 88 kilometers per hour across uneven terrain to bring down its target with a crushing bite to the neck down from the mountains, back down through the thin air and the bare rock and the tree line and the taiga until the forest opens and a river appears, slow and clear and deep green in the summer light. And on its surface, working quietly along the bank, is something that looks like it was designed by someone who had never been told what a Siberian bird was supposed to look like. The male mandarin duck, this small waterfowl, weighing just 450 grams with a 75-centimeter wingspan, represents a stark contrast to the rugged, monotone predators of the north. The male is a spectacular explosion of color, sporting a brilliant red bill, a large white crest that extends back past its eyes, a rich purple breast, and striking orange sail feathers on its back. The female, by contrast, is a muted olive gray, designed to blend perfectly into the shadows of the riverbanks while nesting. The mandarin duck is a highly agile flyer, capable of twisting and turning through the dense canopy of the boreal forest at high speeds to escape apex avian predators like northern goshawks and eagle owls. Its diet shifts drastically with the seasons. In the autumn, it feeds heavily on high-energy acorns and wild seeds to prepare for the cold, while in the spring and summer, it switches to aquatic invertebrates, small fish and frogs along the river channels. Their breeding behavior involves a highly complex system of brood parasitism. To maximize her reproductive success, a female will often locate the active nest of a rival female and secretly deposit several of her own eggs inside it, forcing the other bird to incubate and raise them. Once the eggs hatch, the male duck completely deserts the nesting site to undergo his summer molt, leaving the single mother to lead her large, combined clutch down to the water and teach them how to forage for survival before the autumn chill returns. As the summer sun begins to dip low on the horizon, the smaller inhabitants of the forest floor enter a state of frantic urgency. Such is the case of the Siberian chipmunk, weighing just 150 grams. This small striped rodent cannot migrate south and cannot survive the winter cold above ground. The chipmunk spends the entire autumn digging an elaborate underground bunker complex that can extend over 3 meters in length and 2 meters beneath the frost line. These burrows are highly organized, featuring distinct sleeping chambers, waste disposal areas, and massive food pantries. Using its highly expandable cheek pouches, the chipmunk aggressively hoards several kilograms of high-calorie seeds, pine nuts and acorns, packing its pantries tight. It is fiercely territorial, using scent glands on its cheeks to mark its burrow entrance and engaging in high-pitched, chattering battles to drive off rivals. When the first heavy freeze hits in October, the chipmunk retreats underground, seals the entrance with dirt, and enters a state of torpor, waking up every few weeks to consume a portion of its hoarded stash before dipping back into a deep sleep to ride out the long white freeze. While the chipmunk waits below the frozen ground, 3,000 kilometers north, the polar bear has been waiting for something it wants much more badly. It has been waiting for the ice to come back. Standing up to 3 meters tall when reared on its hind legs and weighing a colossal 700 kilograms, the polar bear is the largest terrestrial carnivore on Earth. Every aspect of its anatomy is optimized for the marine Arctic environment. Its fur is not actually white. Each hair is a clear, hollow tube that channels the faint sunlight directly down to its black skin, which absorbs and retains heat. Beneath the skin lies a thick layer of dense fat that provides near-perfect insulation against the freezing air and water. The polar bear relies entirely on winter sea ice to survive. It is its primary hunting platform. It can remain motionless for hours, waiting for a ringed seal to surface for air at its breathing holes. The bear relies on an incredible sense of smell that can detect a seal's breathing hole through over a meter of solid ice from miles away. When the seal surfaces, the bear strikes with explosive speed, driving its massive paws into the hole and dragging the prey onto the ice with its powerful jaws. If the ice breaks up early in the summer, the bear is forced into long, grueling 90-kilometer open water swims across the Arctic Ocean, burning vital fat reserves just to find a stable platform to rest. Today, this spectacular wilderness faces a critical turning point. Rapid climate change is warming the Arctic at an accelerated rate, causing the vital sea ice foundation to melt earlier in the spring and freeze later in the winter. This leaves the polar bears stranded on land for months at a time, cut off from their primary food source and facing potential starvation. The changing climate also impacts the interior. Early spring thaws create unpredictable ice crusts that disrupt the ancient migratory paths of the caribou, while rising summer temperatures make the dry taiga forest highly susceptible to massive, uncontrollable wildfires that destroy thousands of acres of pristine habitat. Human industrial expansion adds to this pressure. Large-scale oil, gas extraction, and heavy mining operations across northern Siberia generate tons of chemical waste and industrial runoff that decimate the delicate marine and freshwater ecosystems, poisoning the fish and invertebrates that form the foundation of the food web. Modern poaching also continues to threaten the region's apex fauna, with illegal hunting taking a heavy toll of around 200 bears annually. This environmental crisis extends far beyond the borders of the frozen north, echoing across the global oceans. In the tropical waters of the Pacific, the devastating ornamental trade and illegal harvesting have pushed the magnificent hawksbill turtle to the brink of critical endangerment. Rising ocean temperatures cause massive coral and anemone bleaching events, wiping out the vibrant reef systems that support iconic species like the clownfish. Further out in the deep ocean, industrial fishing operations leave behind miles of ghost nets, resulting in accidental net entanglements that drown Pacific orcas and other large cetaceans every year. The future of these spectacular ecosystems depends entirely on global conservation efforts. By implementing strict, science-backed sustainable forest management practices and establishing protected conservation corridors across Siberia, we can give these apex predators the space they need to adapt to a changing world. When we protect the integrity of these wild spaces and respect the natural boundaries of the ecosystem, the resilient wildlife of the frozen north will always find a way to endure. If you were captivated by this deep dive into the raw survival of wild Siberia, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below sharing which apex predator impressed you the most. Share this video with your friends to help spread the word about these incredible creatures. See you in the next video for more raw, unfiltered stories of wildlife survival. We will see you in the next one.